Hello. Going for a walk. Why don't you come with me? I'm going to amble down this street, which is Market Street, to Shawnee Park, which is right down there. And so yeah, this is the far western end of Market Street. That's a really cool house. I wonder if they own this big empty lot next to them. Unfortunately, it's been hacked up into apartments. Looks like only 2 of them though, so probably pretty damn spacious. Bicycle guys. Don't blame them for going out on a day like this. It's about 55 degrees, or at least it was when I left the house. I think it may have warmed up a little bit. That's 55 is 13 degrees Celsius. 75% humidity, overcast. The sun was trying to poke through a minute ago, but it's now failing. Unfortunately, the fairly stiff north wind that we had when I left the house has died down, and I'm overdressed. I had on a sock hat a minute ago. It's a nice Voodoo Labs recordings that I got. I found it on the street. It's brand new. Washed it, but it's a light one, so which is why I picked it. But it's in my pocket now, and this thing is fleece lined. This fleece, I think that's a pretty plaid. So yeah, I may end up with this thing around waist in a minute. I don't know if that got cut off by the switch of cameras. I don't know what the age of this architecture is. I'm gonna guess most of it's from the 40s through the 60s. Like that one over there. I mean, that's probably the 50s. It's kind of a cool ranch right there. That also looks sort of arts and craftsy. Yeah. Anyway, that's what the architecture looks like in this end of town. Oh, they don't have any electricity in there. They probably haven't for a while. Usually they just turn it off and leave the meter on these days. They've removed the meter. They haven't disconnected the wires yet, but that, well, you know when the wires aren't hooked up that it's been empty for a long time. What the hell? Oh, some people on mini bikes, kids, it actually looks like. Probably out terrorizing the woods over here. Oh. Yeah, I'll probably end up ranting at some point, but I don't feel like it yet. But this thing's ugly. But you gotta have your liquor and your beer and your apparently a food court. And this thing is also very ugly. Do not understand why this lot has been empty for like over a decade, but it is. And then there's that little building that looks like it was like some kind of walk-up restaurant, like maybe it had, ice cream or something like that. But it doesn't have any power to it and has not had anything in it I've never seen anything in it. All right, I'm about to walk into that park over there, and I'll bring you back in a little while. And here we are at the border of the Shawnee Golf Course in Shawnee Park. That tree just fell. Looks like it's been sick for quite a while. Actually, this whole section looks like it's dead, but that kind of looks like it's still alive. The part that's still up there might survive. I think we're gonna go traipse through the woods. I don't think it's gonna be too wet back in here. It is definitely, the surfaces are all damp from all the fog and mist and whatnot we've had. And it was raining a little bit last night when I came in. It's a train way over on the other side of the river. My old dog Banjo would not walk across this. He could not stand being able to see through a floor at all. I mean, it was, and actually he hated really shiny floors too. Got very freaked out by him. But what in the world, a doghouse? I wonder where that's probably from the floods this last spring. But wow, I never noticed that. Wonder where the hell that came from. Oh yeah, Banjo would have just driven him. I would have had to have pulled him across it. We were in a barn one time and just had little tiny cracks in the floor, but you could see the light through them, and he just was absolutely in a panic. And it was a serious barn, you know. The floors were super solid, and but yeah, until we got downstairs in it, he was losing his mind. Banjo was a quirky, fun, kind of a pain in the butt. He was too smart, was one thing with him. He also did not realize that he was not a people. He would try to herd people. That was always really funny. You know, if there was a crowd walking, he would walk around the outside edge and bump people, trying to keep everybody close together. He was a Chow Rottweiler mix, and Rottweilers are bred to herd bulls, and what they're bred for is to shoulder. That's why they're big dogs. Some Rottweilers are over 200 pounds, you know, which is that's a big dog. But the way that they would herd cattle is to run and just shoulder them to make them move, and they were big enough and fast enough that the cattle would just move away from them. And then the other half of him was Chow, according to the dishwasher at my ex's the restaurant she worked at. She was a manager. He brought Banjo into the restaurant to show everyone, and that's how I ended up with him. He was adorable. Good God, he was cute. But yeah, he was this Chow, purebred Chow, climbed into a breeder's pen over a 15-foot chain link fence. He was not going to be deterred. She'd already been bred, but you know how dogs and cats, they can have multiple fathers in a litter. So there were like 7 or 8 Rottweiler puppies and 1 Banjo. And a Banjo was just, he looked like some kind of insanely expensive stuffed toy. He was always really soft and floofy his whole life, but he wasn't puffy like a Chow. He looked a lot more like a Rott, but he didn't have that sleek coat like Rotts have. And Dakota is quite the different dog. She's still a dog, but she is not. She's a one-person dog. I'm going to say 1.1 and then 2/3. My ex and my stepson, she adores, and she's pretty fond of my bass player Chris that lived with me for a year or so. But yeah, she'll stand there and be petted by people, but she's paying attention to me the entire time. This is you can go down there, check it out. This is a woodland wetlands that they are preserving. Here's another one of those. This is actually a pretty cool design for a bridge in a nature walkway, because the leaves can't build up on it. And just right on the other side of that is baseball diamonds and big yards, but it's very nice, and get a little bit of nature here, just right next to the city. Hey, where are you going? I'm going this way because I might smell something here. I don't know what she's doing. Come on. Oh, she changed her mind. I think she might have realized how far away she got. She does. I think she can see better than Banjo. Banjo was very, very nearsighted. And he would get running around, especially like take him to the dog park, and he'd get to playing with the dogs and get a couple hundred yards away. And I would go stand in front of a tree, very still. And he would realize that he didn't know where I was. And I could see him look up and start looking around frantically, trying to figure out where I was. And I'm in plain sight, but I'm in front of a tree. And he could not figure out where I was until I would step over to the side so he could see me. And then he would joyfully run at me, then do a head fake and run past me, wanting me to try to tag him. That tag thing is something that almost every dog that I've ever been around loves to play. It's like, I'm going to run as fast as I can towards you, and then as close as I can, and try to get past you without you tagging my butt. He was taller than her, but his body was quite a bit shorter, so I'm not sure who would have been faster of the two of them. I know my old dog Bubba, who was a German Shepherd mix, he was tall and long, and he was fast. I was on a friend of mine's motorcycle one day. We were just driving a few blocks back from a friend's house over to my house, and my dog Bubba was running along the sidewalk next to us, and we hit a good steady 45 miles an hour, and he wasn't even breaking a sweat. He just stretching it out and looking over, to make sure he was pacing us. There's something, a duck or something. Boy, there's a lot of people here today. Wonder what's going on. Well, the LG smokestacks are gone, so I'm not even going to bother. Oh, it's got a motorcycle. That's where the music's coming from. I wonder what that is. He's playing really loud. Probably Kid Rock from the looks of him. This way. I'm going to turn this off for a little while. I'll come back. Yeah, it's quite a bit warmer than it was when I left the house. I had to regulate my temperature. Rolled up my sleeves, unbuttoned my fleece-lined plaid fleece. I don't know. It's got this kind of stuff in it. It's a very, very warm shirt, but I unfortunately wore a long sleeve shirt underneath of it, which was probably dumb. The water, oh, still. That's a buoy out there in the middle of the water that's causing that ripple. That's from the current. That's how still it is now. It was blowing pretty hard when I left the house from the north, and this actually felt pretty damn good then. But the air's gotten so still. Boy, the birds are talking. Here, blue jay. Ooh, I should run that Merlin thing that my brother had me download. Let's see. We walked up there a few weeks ago, I think. And then over the far northern end of the quote-unquote Great Lawn. A great waste of resources. don't know. I have to wonder. Maybe that's something if I can remember. Since one of those, I've got this. I always want to write letters to, like, the park department about usage of all of this acreage that they've got. That it's just they just mow it. That's all. That's all that ever happens to it. It's like, you could not mow it, which would save God knows how many tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars a year in labor and gas and wear on machinery, and just plant beautiful native, prairie grasses and flowers and whatnot. Put in a little habitat for the critters. Because nobody's using it. I mean, it's absolutely is not being used. That great lawn that's up over that ridge, which, Dakota, don't go over there. Good girl. I mean, that thing's got to be 20 acres, maybe more, 30. Let me think. Somebody just told me that the Mid-City Mall location is 11 acres. I would say you could easily fit 5. So maybe 50 acres. God, I mean, it's big. It's a really huge expanse. And at best, a tenth of it gets used all the way at the far southern end over there by Broadway. And I've never seen anything happening in the rest of it. Nothing. And it's at Iroquois Park, which I think I may have shown in one of these. Up on top of it, the entire top of the hill, which Iroquois Park is just one giant hill. Are you coming? I got sniff stuff. I'm a dog. There's where the smokestacks were, and they are finally gone. I guess they're only a little bit behind schedule. They started late, so that would make sense. But this is one of the first times on a Saturday I've been here, and they haven't been over there jackhammering and digging and loading dump trucks and whatnot. At the top of Iroquois Park, that the whole top of that hill is just a wildflower meadow, and they've just cut zigzaggy paths back through it, so you can see a bunch of different kinds of trees and all kinds of different flowers, and there's just tons of birds up there. Oh, that's cool looking. A sycamore that is not going to make it, I think. And what is this thing? Boy, that's cool bark. This is winged elm, maybe? It looks like that all the way up. Cool tree. It's not very big. And they could do that with so many areas that just, they're literally not used for anything. I've never seen anybody play frisbee on them, or they're usually too rough and to really use for sports. But the problem with me writing letters about that, look at me, that's the weave, y'all, which I'm gonna come back to that. By the time I get home, get settled in, do the things that I need to do in the house, I've completely forgotten about it until the next time I'm in a park. And I'm not smart enough to send myself a note to do it. I hope I'm managing to keep this thing more flat than usual. It even has a little level doohickey right in the middle of the screen. And I somehow on Christmas Day when I was doing my walk, was it Christmas Day or Christmas Eve? Anyway, the last time I did one of these longer ones, it was only 10 minutes long. It was like this the entire time, which might be because my stupid head is crooked most of the time. And my dog has decided to do something way back there. The birds are quieter over here. I'm going to turn this off and yell for my dog. I don't want to do it right into the camera, so I'll be back in a little while. You can go faster than that, you know. God, she's way back there. No idea what she's... never know what she's sniffing at. Wow, it is really quiet back in here today. I haven't even heard any traffic up on the right, pretty close to the top of the second ridge there is a road. As a matter of fact, right, see where that blue sign is. Yeah, just right over that way is where that asshole almost ran me over looking at their damn phone and driving way too fast for the park. Let's see, I covered all that about the failure to remember to write letters. Oh yeah, there's the other one I want to write about. Who knows, maybe when I'm editing this, I will write down, make myself a little note. I actually do that every once in a while. I actually write things down with a pencil or a pen on paper. But usually I just type it into my phone. But the Northwestern Parkway, there's a section of it from the foot of Bank Street to 38th, 39th maybe. That is one way, really wide, and for some reason is 2 lanes wide. There's no sidewalk, there's no bike lane, and there's 2 lanes, and people drive down through there like it's a damn highway. It's 35 mile an hour urban, and there's absolutely zero reason for it to be 2 lanes wide. There's not enough traffic on it. Traffic shouldn't be going that fast anyway. And there's no place for pedestrians or bicyclists to be that's safe. So that's something I want to bitch at the city about and never remember. That's a cool little, see, what would you call that thing? There's a stage on the left of that building up there, and then there's this little building back behind it. I would imagine it would be a place you would put on plays or have concerts. I mean, that's a wonderful backstage area, really nice stage area. It's got lots of electrical outlets along the back of it. Never seen it used. And there's a little sort of amphitheater, natural. Well, I don't know if it's natural, but there's a flat area, and then there's a little bit of natural levee before the man-made levee. I know it's probably not natural, though. I don't know why I'm saying that. This used to be amusement park, and I think there were probably houses back along through here before the flood. The flood of, what was that, 1937? Me and my memory. Should get a new one of those. I'm sure they'll install one pretty soon. Oh, speaking of memory, so interesting. I read a little short piece about frontal temporal dementia today, and how that appears to be what is occurring with the current occupant of the White House, which would explain his MRI or CAT scan or whatever it was that they gave to him. The fact that he doesn't know what they did to him should bother people enough. But I heard in his first term, a friend of mine that's a physical therapist, she does mostly, or did, she's retired now, did mostly voice stuff. She was like, oh yeah, the way he stands, that's dementia. That's early stage dementia. When you start when you're leaning forward all the time like that, that's like a completely obvious physical sign. But there's just this way that he'll say shit that's utterly false, just sort of like filling in the gap between point A and point B. And as they put it, people with this frontal temporal dementia, they're not, they are, it's not that they're forgetting, it's that their brain just fills in these gaps and they can't tell that it's not true, which is terrifying. You know, this guy's running the country, supposedly, and he believes this fucking bullshit. What they say that, yeah, he would pass a lie detector test with flying colors because his brain doesn't know that he's lying. Even though I'm sure that half the time he does know, but boy, I don't know what's going on down here. There's not supposed to be cars here. I'm going to turn this off and put it in my pocket. I don't feel like putting these people on there. And then we're gonna venture over into a neighborhood that I don't think I've filmed in before. There's one of those mystery things up there. It's probably part of the waterworks. Okay, I'll be back. Come here. This way. This way. Dakota. Hey, pay attention. Well, he's smoking some good stuff. All right, so this is the head of Broadway where it runs into the levee. And then there's a levee wall there. Come on, come. Come. Yeah, I know, I'm going that way though. Come on. You too, man. I'm trying. Yeah. I don't know. It's real quiet. So yeah, this is, boy, what a house, huh? That one and the next house. And kind of all these. And there's this beauty down here. I wonder what, I'm gonna walk down here and see what's happening to this. I'll be back. Okay, this is the house that, I mean, what a beauty. It's at Napoleon the 13th? Or 7th? I don't know. It's the son of Napoleon. But boy, it's not being taken care of. And they're gonna tear the son of a bitch down. Wow. Oh well. I mean, they ruined it with this enclosure on the bottom, but I mean, look at that architecture. I wonder if we can get around the back. Well, I guess we're gonna find out. Come on. Let's go this way. Yeah, jeez, what a shame. I guess they couldn't sell it to somebody that would rehab it. Oof. Yeah. I mean, it would be a huge job, but boy, what a shame to tear that old house down. Let's see if I can see the back of it. Back of it's nothing to write home about, but the front is gorgeous. We were going to walk over that way. I am not sure what street this is in front of us. I think it's one of the numbered ones. But it goes to Chickasaw Park, and I think this is the Chickasaw neighborhood. And on the other side of Broadway is the Shawnee neighborhood. And then, let's see, I think the boundary between Shawnee and Russell and Portland is 34th Street, though it may vary between 38th Street, but I think it may move over to 34th on the other side of Market. I think Portland's Market to the river. Shawnee neighborhood is, I think this actually is one of the parkways, but I'm not going to go over there and find out. No, actually I will. I'm going to meander back this way anyway. Let's see, the Portland neighborhood is from 9th Street to 38th Street, Market Street to the river. Russell is 34th Street to 12th, maybe? I'm never going to get the neighborhoods of this city right. This is Southwestern Parkway. So yeah, Chickasaw Park's right down there. That's kind of cool. They've done a lot of improvements to it recently. I think we walked through it earlier this year. They've put a fishing pond in the middle of it, which is actually pretty nice. I mean, they left an old tree on an island in the middle of it, and it's got like a arched bridge over it. But it's stocked with fish, which is also pretty cool. A little place for people to go get food for free, which I think there should be more of. That's something else they could do with those big, huge empty areas, is to put in places for people to go fishing. Supplement their food intake with some delicious, quote, seafood, fresh fish. I'm gonna guess these houses are also from the 50s. This is, what is this style called? This sort of neo-Swiss thing. I also have not been able to figure out what these little side roof doohinkies, where they've got these parts jutting out to the sides, that, like this one especially, you know, it's got that little narrow thing. And I don't know, is this like the house that I work on? No. Yes. So I don't know if you can tell this, but the wall here, the wall's a little bit wider down there than it is up here, and this little roof sits on top of the wall. I really don't know what the purpose is. I do like these swoopy roofs though. Got a lot of character. This, I do believe that my dad will recognize this as being a lot like the neighborhood that he grew up in, where his folks' house was in Paducah. Probably the same architects designed them, and surely not the same builders, because there were no interstates probably when this place was built, or not many. They were probably just getting started. Is this a church? Yep. Christ Temple Christian. Now this house, which sadly is part of this church, I don't know what it's done. Look at that thing. What a monster. The front of it is beautiful. I mean, it's really a sort of, I guess this would be neo-colonial, if I'm not mistaken. Boy, I really should read about architecture sometime. It's a subject that I dearly love, and that I've forgotten 90% of. It's one of my favorite things about the Garden District in New Orleans, was how they would just sort of randomly throw bits of architecture from, Greek and Roman, the big Greek arch with Roman columns, and then a medieval style turret, and just toss fancy stuff at the front of their buildings, which makes them fun and interesting. And also, down in New Orleans, they didn't paint all of their houses beige or light yellow or white or gray. There were colors like bright yellow and red and blue and purple and pink and bright green, like lime green. It seemed as though people were in a contest to have the brightest colored house on their block. Now, this is Dorhofer. There's a local plumber by that name. And so there's an older church over there that I guess this is part of. This is a huge compound. It's an entire block. I do not know what those buildings are for. They don't look well kept, which is disappointing since they're stealing all the money from all these people. I'm sorry, they're being given tithed money by all the people in the neighborhood. Least they could do is make that building pretty. It would cost them a few $1,000s, I'm sure, because they would get volunteer labor from their flock. Every time I hear the term flock applied to members of a church congregation, I think of a wolf standing there in priest clothes or preacher clothes or whatever they call them, pastor clothes. Wolves in silk suits preaching about Jesus. Jesus would really, really, really hate your fucking silk suit, buddy. You should be wearing goddamn sackcloth and giving your money away to the poor, visiting the imprisoned. What else did he do? Fed the poor. Oh yeah, healed the sick. He should also be healing the sick. But instead, you're building shit like that, which is ugly. That building's just ugly. That's all there is to it. It looks like a goddamn dollar store or a supermarket from the 70s. There's no one of those faux Swissy kind of things. I haven't seen any around here that have the timbers, the exposed timbers on the front. I know there are some around here, but I haven't seen one recently. Yeah, what was it? I had one last Trump thing to rant about. God, if I can remember what it was. I don't really feel like thinking about that orange asshole right now anyway. He's ruining our country, which is not an overstatement. You managed to get seeds on you even this late in the year. Nice thing about her coat is that I can just brush these things off with Banjo. I had to brush him to get him off, and if he got cockleburrs, oh my God. That's a cute little thing. What is that? Oh, a Martin house. Well, they didn't put it up very high. Now this place, if I remember correctly, they've got like a beagle dog. And yeah, it kind of looks like they've got a dog from the way the grass is worn on the other side of the fence. That gate was open, completely wide open. That dog was in the yard. Dakota, I came by and that dog just ran to the end of the fence and then just sprinted across the open to the other side and got behind the fence and barked on the other side of the fence. It's like, you could have come out and said hi. But dogs is funny. Put a fence in between them and they sound like they want to murder each other, and just let them loosen to say hi and they just sniff each other's butt. See, that kills me, that tree over there. Well, I don't know, maybe it was dead, but I kind of doubt it. Just people are like, who's going to drop a limb on my house? I'm like, yeah, the amount of electricity you save from the shade from that thing in the summer will easily offset any repairs that you have to have done. And you could just have the tree trimmed, You know, that is a thing. You don't have to have it murdered. Yeah, oh well. And this is an interesting little road. It keeps going here, and then it just dead ends. You got to go around this, but if you go back to it, then it's a path. It just turns into a walking path for like a block or two, and then it opens up into a little street like this again. But those people, I kind of don't think what they've done there by putting that fence there. I think they've just sort of taken over some city property, because it really seems like this should go straight through to the other side. Straight on through to the other side. I'm going to put this in my pocket for a minute and let my fingers regain feeling. And Dakota and I will come back when I remember what it was. Oh, I know what it was. It was his Christmas messages. Yeah, I'll come back and rant about those in a minute. And then I think I'll have him out of my system for a few days. All right, we'll be back in a second. Boy, it's so quiet out here today. So yeah, there's this continued on the other side of this. Man, I really don't think that fence should be there, but oh well, I don't live in this neighborhood. It only affects me twice a year, maybe. I actually end up walking through here. What's up, pup? I can hear you. So yeah, this just turns into a footpath for just a second. And then it's alley, and then it actually is kind of much more street after that. Typical alley here. Sports ball. Wonder what that thing is. Exercise ball, maybe? Dakota, can't be that interesting. Or can it? Come on. Oh well, she'll catch up. Got real worried about cross traffic right there. Yeah, my last bit of ranting for this walk, and great, managed to step in some dog poo. Apparently, I'm sure that I'll get it off. Oh, there's another doggy. It's not lead though, so, or I think. Well, we'll find out. The Christmas Eve into the Christmas morning, he posted on his Truth Social thing like 30 times, and they were all just really angry. You know, they hate Trump. Hey, talking about yourself in third person is just ugh. What's up, handsome? No, you're just standing there. What you say? You're a good boy. How's it going? Boy, he's a good boy. Look at him. Yeah, he 30 times. Posted 30 times, and they were all just really, really angry. Like, let's see. And then one of them was, hey, we're going to go murder a bunch of people in Nigeria because they're killing Christians. It's like, you know, they're killing everybody, buddy. Somebody should maybe tell him that. But he wouldn't remember, because he's already said that they're killing Christians. So that's the narrative, and his brain will never be able to depart from that. Because he's not smart. And he can't tell that he's lying. And he'll just double down on his lies but nobody around him's going to make him face that. He's very useful to them as an angry, hateful, murderous tyrant. Oh, and see, we're still here on Dorhofer. What are we at now? 40th Street. Yeah, these are. This area has a much worse reputation than it deserves. I've said it a million times. I lived in New Orleans for 20 years. Louisville ain't got shit on that. Of course, Louisville ain't got shit on most major cities as far as that goes, which is good. I mean, it's still a big city, so it's going to have its crime. That's just going to happen. It has ever since people started living in large groups. You know, you're going to have people stealing shit and killing one another. I think if you just got humans in the same area, that's going to be the case. Nice bike. Anyway, that was, I don't know, I just don't understand how anybody can read that shit and go, this is my man, I love this stuff. Like, what is wrong with you? He's just a horrible, horrible, horrible man. And he always has been, but I think that's what some people like. Yeah, what do we got going on over here? Stump grinder. Those things are insane. Well, somebody still got their nutcracker up. That's a cute little house. And this is that same kind of architecture. See, now there's one apartment building and all the rest of these are houses. Oh, that one's boarded up. Yeah, that 1950s style suburban, I put in quotes. Man, that's a big house right there. And the one next to it's pretty big. Also, you know, little mixed income going on, which is just anathema to the rich. Last thing they want is to have a poor living next door. I wonder if this is an apartment over the top of this building. Oop. Come here. Yeah. Like I said, it's not a whole lot of traffic today. Yeah, that does look kind of apartment-y, doesn't it? And actually, that building, that's definitely apartments there. I couldn't see. See, the way I usually tell is that they've got multiple power meters on the sides of them. But I think they were on the other side of the building. And this house does not have power. And this one's boarded up. Back there on Cecil Street, which was the when I got back onto Dorhofer and started yeah, that one's empty, that one's empty. Yeah, I'm telling you, if somebody would come in here and just make these affordable, but that's not what's going to happen. They're going to come in here and invest. They're all going to go away. Yep, all boarded up. I see them missing the window up there. Come on, Dakota. What is it you're smelling? I don't know. It smells good, though. I want to smell more of it. Nice metal roof on the porch, but then they've, of course, covered it up on the side. All right, I'm going to turn this back off for a minute because I'm kind of enjoying just walking along and letting my brain do its thing. And I'm done ranting, I think. Boy, the wood on this is probably going to be really cool. And it will get thrown into a wood chipper. Alrighty, I will be back. We just crossed over Broadway. This is just a little bitty dog. You look like a puppy, but I don't think you are. Look at you, you're so tiny. What a cutie. Yeah, so banana trees grow in this part of the country now. Boy, that house doesn't look good. Yeah, a lot of little repairs needed here and there. And I like this tree up here. Oh, 666, cool address. Oh, this is familiar. It's Belldale Park right there. Used to bring Clover, aka Mason, over here to for like art classes and stuff during the summer on 37th Street. So I'm gonna try. I don't think I can. I'm gonna try to walk as straight home as possible, but I'm pretty sure this is interrupted by an elementary school up here. And we are approaching Market Street. I don't know. I think I'm done. Boy, that dude in front of me is smoking some ganja. I mean, it is. The wind's blowing straight towards me too. So, anyway, thanks for coming on a walk with me. Hope you don't mind my rants too much, and I hope you are having a fantastic Saturday. And I'm having a pretty nice one so far. Oh, look, there's some blue sky. Lovely. The sun might come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar. Alrighty, for Dakota. That's it for today. And we will talk to you next time, probably next week. Right? Right, Dakota? I don't care, just as long as we go for a walk. Also, I'm a dog. I don't talk.